Hey, we are live on YouTube. Welcome, everyone. This is our normal meeting on Wednesday evenings, Family Justice and Accountability Model. Here's where we talk about making America's children safe again. Okay. And we talk about Kids for Congress and a lot of the good things that have happened during the week. We do have rules because this is a Zoom meeting. We keep everyone on mute. There's no crosstalk. And we want to give people a chance to ask questions or anything towards the end. And we just tell you to not talk about your case for multiple reasons. Um, one being well, you're live on YouTube for one thing. This will be shared wildly. And then second of all, we do have options for that, which is called Book a Talk with Francesca. You can just Google that and fill out the contact form. And we were going to talk more about some of the services that we provide. With saying that, I'm going to have Chelsea Kennedy talk about what she and Dale, was it today, Chelsea, or?
Yes, we've been working on it since last week. Dale put it all together, got it printed and shipped to Helena, Montana today. And what I did today, I personally delivered a physical copy of a petition for redress of grievances. This was to the office of Congressman Troy Downing, and he's Montana's 2nd congressional district. And the petition was received by his staffers, and it was in the present and witness of Trevor Tiki to the serving of the document. Immediately following delivery, I sent a formal follow-up email to all parties. This included congressional staffers, victim advocate Shari Sandra Francesca Banfield, and also the Montana Family Court Awareness Project, Madison and Kyla, and then also Dale Grayson at the National Defense Center for Criminalized Survivors, and Annadelle Martinez with Battered Women's Justice Project, and then Dale Richardson with DSR Caris Consulting. And what this was today, it was a formal request that the Congress, and it's on the record, the grievances that I've had personally in my family court case, and also how the solutions through the FJAA are already there. This is a formal step and significant step in a formal demand for accountability and redress on behalf of myself, my sons, and the countless families that are failed by the system. It's a big deal. It's really exciting, and having all of these eyes on it. One of the things that I'm going to go do tomorrow is go get the official stamp of receipt because I didn't know that I had to do that. But working with Dale was incredible. If you've gathered your information for the Netflix documentary, I encourage you to get it with Dale, so you can get a petition in your state to address these grievances and get them on the congressional record with the FJAA as the solution. We are not going to be ignored. We are sweeping the nation, and my goodness, it feels good. It was so overwhelming in such a good way. I had to go take a 30-minute nap afterwards. So I'm excited. I'm happy to be here, continue serving. I'm back and forth between Montana, Nebraska, and South Dakota, and having to travel through Wyoming and North Dakota. So if anybody's in those states and would like help, I got your back, and we'll meet you. We'll get you to where you need to go. Dale he'll tell you where to pick up the information. He'll tell you what to deliver it, and he'll tell you what to say. And that just gave me goosebumps everywhere, because if that's not biblical, that God does prepare us, and he gives us the words that we need to speak when we need them, and in the right time and in the right way. And this is bigger than us. And that was the sermon that I listened to on Sunday. It was bigger than us. So let's go.
It's so amazing, and I so appreciate you. And just for anybody that's watching, Chelsea is one of our top team leads, and as you can see, she's moving and shaking, and that's what we need. Those are the type of leaders we encourage. People in the gifts that God gave you. We encourage that here. So it's not about your credentials. Of course, that's always beneficial, but it's really getting in line with what God called you to do and to be a part of what we're doing. We have been making history. We have hundreds of thousands of families affected throughout the entire country, which is our main focus. And it's because they're not following laws that we already have. Now, I'm going to be showing a video soon, and this is going to help educate anybody who has not maybe read the FJAA. And as many of you know, if you've been paying attention to what we've been doing, I am working with high political officials. We have a lot of encouragement from both sides, but more on the Republican side, um, with tons and tons of support. I've been sending out, and I have a whole binder with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and some policy advising with him. I haven't had a chance, I would say, like probably the past few weeks, but I was having a lot more activity with him prior, and I will be again coming up very soon. And we have some higher involvement coming very, very soon as well. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to set that up now so you guys can watch. And this will help you greatly to understand FJAN. Okay, I also want to say underneath the FJAA, which my organization is Punished for Protecting Incorporated. I'm going to, I normally have, and I'm not sure if I do on this particular video, in chat, there is a code of conduct contract for those that are volunteering for either a team lead or a volunteer position for um, anything affiliated FJAA. Okay. And also, we have Make America's Children Safe Again on social media. So everything you can find on Facebook. That's the best way to locate it. We have all the states in the country. We have literally thousands of people per state on every state page. We're still looking for more team leads for state pages. We've had some bumps along the way, which is very normal in advocacy. But we are still thriving and doing very, very well. So if you want to join, the best thing you do is just kind of put in family justice and accountability in Facebook search, and then it's easy if you kind of put your state next to it. If you don't see your state, we prefer that you join your own state. But if you can't and you need to join a different state, one of the team leads will let you in and then find your state for you. We may have a state or two that we don't have, just because we couldn't find the right fits for them. But that means we're still looking. So that means that those opportunities are open for you. Yes, you do have the opportunity to potentially meet anyone, because we work with multiple Congress members. And if you're following along, you'll see a lot of these Congress members. We have little video clips of them saying they want to work with us. They know who we are. It's been very encouraging, very, very encouraging to go to to sit in the rooms that I get to sit in and be welcomed and invited. Um, it's been just amazing. It's been a blessing, and it's very hard. There's times I can bring 20 people. There's times I can bring hundreds. It just depends on the event. So you could end up anywhere. Just so you know. Next, what is it? June 30th, I think. I'm going to be at a huge event with Trump and JD Vance, that I was invited to. So I'm pretty stoked. And then we have our own event coming up June 29th, with Andre Soriano and Diana Starr. I'm also launching our podcast coming very, very soon, America's Voices of Freedom. And you guys will get to see that too. It's going to be with my sister and Diana and Andre. You may ask, what does fashion have to do with what we're doing? Oh, it has a lot to do with it. And you're going to learn more on the podcast, because your life should be blessed and happy and not fighting for your children. And so there's a lot that comes with healing in this life. There's a lot that comes with it. But we're preaching a message on just decency. We're preaching a message on chivalry. We're preaching a message on just class and caring about yourselves in the healing process. And that has to do with fashion and a lot. And it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money either. But we're going to talk about all of that. So yes, there's a lot of other things that are happening that may not seem like it fits, but as you learn more, you'll say, "Oh wow, I never even thought of that. That is great." Plus, when you're in these rooms with these big, people, you can't really just go to like a ball or a gala, just any way. So, um, and if you're a kingdom kid, if you believe in God, we're royalty, so we should look the part. Okay, let me go ahead and play this video for you guys. Just give me 1 second while I locate it. Bear with me, my dears. Also, there's a little plastic hand emoji. So at the end, if you'd like to, you can go ahead and put your hand up for a question. And then I'm going to show you guys some pictures.
While you're looking that up, this is Chelsea, South Dakota State team lead. I also wanted to mention Erica Block is
Yes,
heading to Glasgow on May 13th with the Montana Family Court Awareness Project. But Erica will be representing the FJAA, and they are attending the Judiciary Education Committee meeting, which has been a big secret for many years. And this is finally the first time that the Montana Family Court Awareness has figured out how to be there and present in public like it should be. So this will be a big deal because the judges need to be educated on the FJAA. So I'm
exactly.
super excited that Erica's going to go to that. I cannot go, but with the Montana Family Court Awareness Project there and representation from the FJAA at that judicial education meeting, I think that's going to be really, really impactful.
Yeah, that's great. And to anybody that's viewing, or maybe you don't know anything about what we do, this is nationwide. Okay, so each state has a U.S. state representative and a U.S. senator per state, per jurisdiction. But we're doing this, congressionally, federally, and we're bridging federal with state. And I'll explain all that. I'll do teachings on that. I do them every Wednesday. I know a lot of people say you can't do that. That is not true. They've been teaching you lies. And that people are regurgitating lies. They're regurgitating lies over and over again. We have so much power and so much authority, and the enemy has just made you believe you don't. And no, it's like I said, if you want truth, you're going to get it here. So, okay, let me go ahead and share this.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to plunge into some pretty dense topics, pull out the key insights, and basically give you a shortcut to being really informed.
That's the goal.
So today we're tackling something complex, definitely sensitive, the U.S. Family Court and child welfare systems.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Our main source material is this proposed bill called the Family Justice and Accountability Act 2025. It's authored by Francesca Amato.
And it's not just theory, right? It draws on, what, over 17 years of advocacy?
Exactly, advocacy and firsthand experience.
Hmm.
And it's really aimed at addressing what the author sees as deep systemic failures in these systems.
Okay.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack this thing. It's a detailed document, and we want to distill what it's really saying, what its implications might be.
Make it understandable.
Right. Okay, let's unpack this.
Sounds good.
So the bill kicks off by pointing out this really stark contrast. It says family courts were supposed to be, compassionate, rehabilitative, child-centered.
The ideal picture.
Yeah, always putting the best interests of children first. That sounds, well, good.
It does, but then the bill immediately flips to what it calls the reality. It claims that, in practice, these courts have repeatedly and systemically failed to do that.
Fail how?
Well, it goes further. It argues they've actually become, and this is a direct quote, engines of trauma, injustice, and state-sponsored family destruction.
Wow. Okay. That's incredibly strong language. How does the bill, back that up? What specific systemic failures does it actually point to?
It lays out a few key things. First, a major lack of transparency and public oversight. Court proceedings are often sealed, right? And the bill claims this leads to unchecked judicial discretion. Basically, judges doing whatever they want without scrutiny.
And potential rights violations.
Exactly. Violations of constitutional rights, civil rights, and it specifically calls out the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA.
Okay. Transparency's one. What else?
Second, it talks about perverse economic motivations. This is pretty controversial.
How so?
It alleges that federal money, especially from Title IV of the Social Security Act.
That's the funding for state child welfare.
Right. That funding, plus laws like ASFA, the Adoption and Safe Families Act from '97.
Which speeds up terminating parental rights.
Yes. The bill claims these things actually create incentives to separate children from perfectly fit, loving parents.
Incentives for separation. That's counterintuitive.
It's a central argument in the bill.
Yeah.
And there's a third finding that's really concerning.
Go on.
It asserts that protective parents, especially mothers, often get penalized. They're called uncooperative or alienating if they report abuse.
While the alleged abuser might get custody.
Or unsupervised visits, yeah, that's the claim. Abusers rewarded, protective parents punished.
Okay, this is getting really interesting and pretty disturbing. What about Child Protective Services, CPS? The bill singles them out too, right?
It does. The findings there are just as critical. It alleges CPS frequently leaves children in abusive environments,
So failing to protect.
while also unjustly removing children from fit homes. So errors in both directions, basically.
Which just makes things worse.
According to the bill, yes. Exacerbating harm and perpetuating systemic failures. It argues the agencies meant to help are part of the problem.
Does it offer any evidence for that?
It cites quite a bit of social science research, things like the Adverse Childhood Experiences, ACEs, studies, Saunders, Myers, research showing that separating kids from their main caregivers causes severe and long-lasting trauma.
Okay, so that paints a picture of the problems the bill identifies.
Yeah.
Let's shift to the solutions. How does it propose fixing this? Immunity seems like a big one.
A huge one. The bill flat out argues judicial immunity is not found in the U.S. Constitution.
Not in the Constitution.
Nope. It says immunity was basically created by the courts themselves through case law. It points to Bradley v. Fisher, 1872,
And the effect is?
that it puts judges above the law, essentially. That's the bill's interpretation.
So what's the fix?
Simple, according to the bill. Eliminate it. Get rid of immunity for judges, attorneys, CPS workers, and court-appointed professionals.
Meaning they could actually be sued or prosecuted.
Right, for legal violations. Civil liability, criminal liability, it makes them personally accountable in a way they really aren't now.
What kind of penalties are we talking about? Jail time, fines, losing their jobs?
All of the above, potentially. The bill mentions criminal prosecution, including imprisonment if harm occurs, civil liability so families can sue for damages, and yes, termination.
And who exactly does this apply to? Just judges and lawyers?
No, it casts a really wide net. It says all individuals, agencies, and entities involved in removal, custody, foster care, adoption, public or private.
So everyone.
Pretty much. They shall be subject to full civil and criminal liability for harm or rights violations. It even includes foster parents, adoptive parents, and healthcare professionals if they knowingly contribute to wrongful removal or concealment.
Okay. Let's talk about law enforcement. Their motto is usually to protect and serve. How does the bill view their role in all this?
Well, the bill finds that police have increasingly become just agents of court orders participating in removals.
Even if the orders might be slawed.
That's the implication. It says they often participate in the unlawful seizure of children and explicitly states officers are not immune from liability when they act outside of constitutional bounds or fail to intervene against known harm.
Wow. It even uses the phrase child trafficking pipelines in relation to their role.
It does. It suggests that by enforcing certain orders without sufficient scrutiny, they can inadvertently aid these alleged pipelines.
So what does this all mean for a police officer on the ground if this passed?
Big changes. They'd have to verify orders are actually legal and constitutional first. Is there a proper warrant? Was due process followed? Is there ADA accommodation? Is there really clear and present danger with actual evidence?
That's a lot more responsibility.
It is. And mandatory annual training to constitutional law, ADA, trauma-informed practices, whistleblower protections.
And that old line, I was just doing my job.
The bill says that shall no longer shield misconduct. Pretty direct.
Okay, accountability for individuals is clear. What about system-wide transparency beyond just law enforcement?
Yeah, the bill pushes hard on that. It mandates body cameras and public record access for basically all family court and child welfare personnel.
So everything's recorded and potentially public.
That's the idea. And it has this thing called the gold standard of transparency. Officials have to use their real, full legal names, no aliases, public disclosure of all identities used.
No hiding behind initials or anything.
Right, full identification.
Okay, shifting gears slightly. People often complain about the Department of Justice, the DOJ, saying they lack resources to investigate complaints like civil rights issues. Does the bill address that?
Oh, absolutely. It calls that response essentially an excuse. It declares the DOJ's failure to investigate complaints ADA, civil rights, constitutional violations in family courts is a direct failure to uphold the laws they are mandated to enforce.
Strong words for the DOJ. Does it propose consequences?
It does. Things like congressional oversight hearings, civil penalties against the department, and significantly, it grants citizen and advocate standing.
Meaning regular people could sue the DOJ.
To compel them to act, yes. To force an investigation into alleged misconduct within the family court system.
Okay, let's talk about restitution. Making things right for families who the bill says were harmed, it mentions really devastating outcomes.
Yeah, it finds that decades of misapplication of family court discretion have led to catastrophic harm. It lists things like physical and sexual abuse, wrongful separation, suicides, and deaths of children. Just awful alleged consequences.
Truly heartbreaking. So what does the bill propose for compensation?
Substantial financial compensation. Compensatory damages covering emotional pain, physical harm, lost family connection, even lost education and job opportunities.
And for the kids specifically.
It mandates fully funded college or vocational education for children who were wrongfully removed or harmed. A chance to rebuild, maybe?
And I noticed something about the statute of limitations.
Right. No statute of limitations for child sexual abuse claims, or in cases where there were coercion or gag orders preventing people from speaking out.
That acknowledges how long it can take for trauma to surface or for people to feel safe reporting.
Exactly. And speaking of things that silence victims, the bill takes a really strong stance against parental alienation syndrome, PAS.
PAS. That's a controversial one. What's the bill's take?
It calls PAS and similar concepts debunked theories. It claims they're used specifically to discredit abuse disclosures made by children or protective parents.
And it connects this to custody outcomes.
Directly. It alleges these theories lead to wrongful custody reversals in over 58,000 cases annually in the U.S., often putting kids, it says, at serious risk.
So what does the bill propose regarding PAS? Ban it.
It mandates that courts cannot rely on PAS or similar theories unless there's clear and convincing evidence of actual intentional harm or coaching by the parent. It's a much higher bar.
That seems like a major shift. What about the broader view of children's rights in the bill?
It's quite explicit. It affirms children are legal persons, not property. They have independent rights, especially to safety and stability.
Not property. That's significant phrasing.
It is. And it makes a crucial distinction about neglect. It says neglect, if it's unintentional or related to circumstances like poverty, shall not serve as lawful grounds for child removal.
So poverty alone isn't grounds for removal.
Not according to this bill. Only substantiated abuse proven with clear and convincing evidence should warrant taking a child. That redefines the threshold for state intervention significantly.
And the bill links forced separation directly to health outcomes, right? Citing research.
It does, very directly. It says forced separation from a biological parent causes significant and well-documented trauma. It compares PTSD rates in these kids to combat veterans.
Combat veterans, that's
Yeah.
staggering.
Yeah, and it links this trauma to long-term developmental harm, disrupted attachment, depression, suicidal ideation. Very serious consequences.
And it mentions foster care statistics too.
Right. That more than 80% of foster children suffer from a significant mental health issue, which qualifies them as disabled under the ADA.
80%.
And also that they're over 7x more likely to be sexually abused in foster care compared to the general population. Grim statistics used to bolster the argument against unnecessary removal.
What's fascinating here is the connection the bill makes between that trauma, disability, and the ADA and family court. Can you unpack that a bit?
Sure, so the trauma itself can cause disabilities, right? Mental health issues, PTSD. The bill emphasizes that family courts must comply with the ADA for these children and also for disabled parents or caregivers.
How does that play out practically?
It says removing a disabled child from their main caregiver is strictly prohibited unless every reasonable modification, accommodation, and support service has been tried first, identified, offered, and exhausted.
So keep the child home with support, if at all possible.
Exactly. It cites the Olmsted Supreme Court decision about providing services in the most integrated setting. Here, that means keeping disabled kids with their families whenever feasible.
Okay, beyond individual rights and definitions, are there changes to how the courts actually operate, the procedures?
Yes, a couple of really big ones. First, the reinstatement of jury trials in family court matters involving the loss of custodial rights.
Jury trials in family court.
For cases where a parent could lose custody, yes. A jury of peers making that decision, not just a judge. That's a fundamental change.
Huge. What else?
the creation of independent family justice oversight committees. These would include civilian members, providing outside accountability for the courts and agencies.
So, more eyes on the system. Are there other major reforms we should touch on? It seems like a really comprehensive bill.
It really is. There are several more significant pieces.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, it calls for the full repeal of the Adoption and Safe Families Act of 1997, ASFA.
We mentioned that earlier. Why repeal it entirely?
The bill argues ASFA leads to unjust and premature termination of parental rights and has basically created a profit-driven child welfare industry. So get rid of the financial driver is the idea.
Okay, what's next?
Then there's the abolition of foreign legal influence, specifically mentioning the BIR, the British Accreditation Registry.
The Bar R Association. What's the issue there?
The bill asserts the practice of law is a right of the people, not something controlled by a, quote, foreign or private registry. It cites an old case, Sims v. Aarons, saying law is an occupation of common right. It's arguing against the Bar's authority over lawyers in the U.S.
That's quite a fundamental challenge to the legal profession structure.
It is indeed. Then there's the prohibition of bonding and commodification of families.
Bonding, like financial bonds.
Sort of. This part is very specific. The bill alleges children's placements are sometimes assigned CUSIP numbers identifiers usually used for financial securities.
Wait, treating kids like stocks?
That's the provocative claim.
Yeah.
That it turns kids into commodities. The bill wants to ban any financial instruments tied to custody outcomes, calling it akin to human trafficking or racketeering under auto laws. No CUSIP numbers for kids.
Okay, that's a very specific and serious allegation. Anything else?
Yes. Elimination of anonymous reporting to CPS. Reports would need full identification, signed under penalty of perjury.
Why?
To deter false or malicious reports, the bill argues. Increase accountability for those making accusations.
Makes sense. And one more.
Finally, the prohibition of unconstitutional gag orders. These are orders that stop parents from speaking publicly about their cases.
Which happens quite often.
Yes. The bill calls these gag orders a First Amendment violation and a form of psychological, emotional, and reputational abuse. It wants to ban them.
So, looking at this whole thing, it's striking how often the bill says it's not a new law. It keeps saying it's just about enforcing the laws we already have, fighting for rights we already have.
Exactly. That's the philosophical underpinning. The argument isn't necessarily for new rights, but for the system to actually respect and uphold the existing constitutional and human rights of children and parents.
The claim is the system has drifted away from those fundamental principles.
Precisely. And this bill is presented as the way to force it back into alignment.
Well, we've certainly taken a deep dive into this proposed Family Justice and Accountability Act. It is incredibly comprehensive. I mean, from getting rid of immunity for judges and officials.
Right, to totally restructuring child welfare funding.
And changing court procedures,
Right.
redefining rights. It touches everything.
Yeah. And I think what's really at the core, as the bill itself puts it, is trying to build a system that values truth, transparency, disability accommodation, and human dignity.
And its stated goal is pretty ambitious,
Yeah.
ending what it calls state-sanctioned trauma.
A massive goal, yeah. Whether it could achieve that is another question, but that's the vision.
It is. So for you listening, here's something to think about, a final thought. What would the world of family courts and child welfare look like if these kinds of sweeping changes, all framed as enforcing existing rights, were actually put into practice?
Wow.
How might that really shift the power dynamics, for kids and parents all across the country?
Okay, well, let me get rid of that. Okay, so I figured that would be a good way to help you guys out, especially if you're new, or just to get like a little update or just a refresh of what we're doing. I will share some more pictures here soon from some of the events and things that we've been to and what we've been doing. I want to talk right now about May 17th. May 17th, let me see if I can find that. I know that people have already gotten their plane tickets and hotels or Airbnbs. And there's a couple things I want to discuss about that. There was another. What I hear backfeed. I hear backfeed. I hear backfeed. Okay, I fixed it. Okay, so May 17th is going to be the rededication at the National Mall, President Trump event, and I have given out tons and tons of free tickets. And my hope is, well, here's the thing. So there was another death scare, or another, I think they actually caught somebody on the National Mall just 2 days ago. Okay. And then when I was in DC at the last event, I was in two events, and I was in the event that had the media side. And then another, as you guys know, that other gunman came out literally in real time, simultaneously while we were on the other side. It's just been so. It's been pretty crazy. I mean, this is now, are we talking about the fourth or fifth attempt now? And now they're getting even closer together. I just wanted to kind of talk about, I wanted to hear how some of you feel about this. I personally do not want to be responsible. I wouldn't have people to live with myself if God forbid anything happened to anybody. And let's say, another gunman on the National Mall on the 17th. I know that we're not supposed to live in fear, but we have to be wise and smart and discerning and protective when we can be, and people have to come home to save their children. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to put this out there. It's concerning, to say the least, uh, what everybody kind of thinks. I don't know if you guys want to put what your opinion is in chat. I'd like to kind of see the opinions, so we don't have like craziness and lots of noise. Or if somebody wants to put their hand up and maybe make a statement. Now, I've had people say, just different things about, feeling safe enough to go, and so on and so forth. I just kind of wanted, I guess I kind of want to hear, what you guys all have to say, what you feel for the 17th, because that was our original plan. And we were going in MAXA gear, MACSA, Make America's Children Safe Again clothes, which, as you can see, Chelsea's wearing, Holly's wearing. If you go down to Erica Block's photo, you can see us wearing some of the gear. I do have a whole new website. Still kind of working on it to be able to make purchases if anybody wants t-shirts and things that didn't get stuff. But I don't know. I'd like to hear from some of you guys how you feel about. Patricia Rhodes said, "Thank you for the transparency. I feel we should be safe, so maybe going and standing somewhere else besides the lawn. Just an idea." Okay, that's a good option. Anybody else have anything to say about that? Somebody want to put their hand up or put it in chat?
Hey, Francesca, this is Robert.
Yes.
I don't really have a problem with it myself. Those type of people, they're not usually after, people like us, they're after political figures. And I'm here to do whatever it is that I need to do. So it just doesn't bother me. But that's my personal feelings. So
Yeah, and I agree with that. The thing is that my concern was more, you're in the line of fire. And the other concern was also just the fact that the trauma involved in that. Some people might not feel it at the moment of, but then you're like me, I was down there and I was like, phew, afterwards, I was like, it just hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm glad I wasn't there. I'm glad I wasn't in that building, you know. But I hear you about that. Anybody else?
last week you guys were talking about President Trump and the way he was reacting. He was just looking around, and some of us,
He looked
when we
oblivious.
well, I don't necessarily think it was that. He knew something was going on and he pays attention.
Yeah,
Most people don't do that. Most people want to, fight or flight gets involved and you want to go to safety. So,
right.
or hear something and, so that's just kind of, we have to look at the thing as a whole, everyone as a whole.
He's probably like, not again. Okay, anybody else have anything? Anybody already get a spot, plane tickets and so on and so forth?
I just want to just do like a prayer if anyone, if everyone's okay with it, like, I just want to pray over everybody just to be safe and,
Yes.
safe travels. And we
Yes.
just rebuke any, the president now in the name of Jesus. We
Yes.
cancel them. We send it back to the enemy's camp. You have no authority to trespass against the president of the United States of America or any of the people that are willing to show up at this inauguration and this rededication back to America. This is prophetic. This is what God wants, and this is what America needs. So I cancel every attack in the name of Jesus. I rebuke it. I loose it. I bind it with a three-cord strand, and I cast it into the abyss, never to return, and out of the atmosphere of even thinking. And I send it back to the enemy's camp, and I send confusion to the enemy's camp. You have no authority to attack the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, in the mighty name of Jesus. And Holy Spirit, I ask you to send your guardian angels over President Trump now and to protect him and to remove any demonic oppression, any demonic attacks that are set, and any assignments that people or man or even the enemy has set in place. And even those that he thinks that he can trust that are in the office and work for the government, we cancel it now. And we just ask that guardian angels go before each and every person that travels to this prayer, that we are all safe and that we are filled with the words and the wisdom and the discernment that we need to prosper your assignment that we are doing to implement the government to act according and remove all of the immunity that they are hiding behind to traffic our children, mothers and fathers and family members through the system for money, Father. We just thank you for everything that you have done. We thank you for doing all of this, and we speak life and prosperity, wisdom, understanding, guidance, peace, love, hope, and kindness over the nation of America. And we rebuke all fear in the name of Jesus. You are not going to scare any of us. We are women and men of God who are fighting for the right and the justice of America to be put back in place for the Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for that, Mary. I'm in full agreement. If you look on the screen, guys, I'm going to put this in chat as well. This is for the Rededicate 250, a national jubilee in prayer, praise, and thanksgiving on the National Mall, Sunday, May 17th at 8 a.m. And it says join with neighbors and friends from every state in the union in giving thanks and praise to God for 250 years of his providence for the United States and praying that God bless and protect America for the next 250 years. And in solemnly rededicating our country as one nation under God in speech, song, and storytelling. We will bear witness to the extraordinary story of how God has powerfully and wondrously shaped the United States of America, remembering the people, sacrifices, and defining moments in which God has manifested himself in our nation. This is more than an event. It is a once-in-a-lifetime national movement. Okay, and that's what MAXA is, making America's children safe again, and family justice and accountability. So here you have 5 free tickets. So what you would do is, well, the way you can get up to 5 is down here below. You can pick, and you can go up to 5. So I'm going to put this in chat. For anybody that's watching live and would like to have this opportunity to join us and stand with us, you can get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger, and we will send you this link so you too can get free tickets. Okay. I think it's shut down. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I don't want to forget if there's any other announcements. Okay, yeah. So June 29th. Let me just tell you what's going on. I'll give you all of these. I'm going to share my screen again. June 29th, we have secured. I do need everybody to mute. I'm sorry. I heard somebody come in and it is now noisy. Oh. Okay, if anybody joined that's new, we welcome you in. Hi there, I see you waving. Welcome, welcome, welcome. There. Okay, and we did just show a video. We'll be happy to send it to you. If you are not familiar with the Family Justice and Accountability Act model, the video kind of helps to catch you up. We are live on YouTube as well, just to let you know. We did just talk about the, I'm going to put it in chat right now for the rededication 250th, in which I have everyone can get up to 5 free tickets if you're joining us. If you don't have Make America's Children Safe Again clothing, I will be putting up the video, the website. I'm in the middle of it. It wasn't, it's partially completed. I need a few things done. I know it's late notice and we had a problem with the website, but here is the link, and here you can get up to 5 free tickets. And it's going to, I put that in there so you can go ahead if anybody wants to grab them. They can do that. And we're going to be standing together. If you want to see some of the gear, you just kind of scroll through some of the photographs here in the profiles rather, and you'll see some of the Make America's Children Safe Again clothing. Let me see. Now, the next event after this one, we have landed. Just give me a second because I'm trying to do this without. I put things certain places and then the messages just come through like crazy and then I can't find it. So we originally were going to do the Trump Kennedy Center for the fashion show, where we will be very, very powerful people will be at this event. Can one of the moderators let Robert back in, please? I'm scrolling. Okay. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm sorry. We originally we're getting that. It's been changed now, and we're actually more excited because the Trump Kennedy Center is being remodeled, and our event was going to be June 29th, but that ended up we decided on a different location, which I'm trying to find it so I can show you guys. Let me see if I can get a hold of them really quickly. Hold on. Okay. Okay, I'm not finding it right now. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you guys more information on that. Please bear with me. I do apologize. We do have Q&A at the end, if any, or anything that anybody wanted to ask or state. And I just, for anybody that hopped in late, we do have, we don't talk about our cases in here. We are live on YouTube for one thing, but we just don't do it in here. Sometimes it triggers people, causes trauma, and it's just for your own safety, of your protection of your cases. That's, we have Book a Talk. It should be in chat if anybody does need help or assistance with their cases. Okay, and okay, I think what I'm going to do right now is open up for some Q&A right now while I'm looking for the details on the 29th. Now, on the 30th and 31st, I'm invited to a private event with President Trump and JD Vance. So I'm going to be down there. So on the June event, I'll let you guys all know what codes you get, how many can come, have everybody prepared so you can get your plane tickets and Airbnbs and all that good stuff in advance. I do feel very secure and safe at the location, as far as that goes. So I will let everybody know about that, and then I will be there. That time I'll be there because I'll need to be at the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. And let me see. Oh my goodness. Okay, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is, if you guys want to put your hands up for questions, or I know, like I said, we received a lot of things that Clarice could not answer, and she sent people to the Wednesday night for people to ask me. So it's not just questions. I know that there were people that they were asking if they could partner. They were just talking about different things. They were asking questions about the FJAA, just questions that Clarice could not answer. So if any of you are in here tonight and you're new and you were asking those questions, please put your hand up by putting up your little plastic emoji hand, and I will call on you. Okay. I feel like there's more things I need to talk about, but I can't think of it right now. So let's start with Wes. I see you have your hand up, or
Yeah, I was just going to say about the event coming up and a lot of concerns
yeah,
of safety there. Yeah, we're basically all putting ourselves in the line of fire with going against the court system. Was it a faint heart never won a fair lady or something like that? Or there's no success without risk either. But yeah, I definitely don't want to unnecessary risk. Then there's unnecessary risk. Then there's this is a nice day of prayer, but we're not really accomplishing it. We're going to be there to advertise for the Family Justice Accountability Act, but at least so no one should have to feel bad about it. I'm still trying to get there. If I could afford it, I'd have me and my 4 kids and I there, but I'm just trying to get myself there because I want to be hands on. And if there happens to be a bad guy and I can get my hands on him, that'd make me happy.
all right.
Because it's frustrating sitting on the sidelines, wanting to do more, wanting to be more involved, and you just got limited with limited because of resources. That's one thing that really bugs me, because I was always a guy that had lots of resources, and now I'm
I
in
know.
peasant mode. So that's just been a real frustrating thing for me. That's why I'm so gung ho
No, believe me.
reaching out to everyone, is because I've always been the vanguard, and I can see that in a lot of other people here that want to just be ready to get in there, get done. So many of you are just true warriors, and it's really frustrating that we can't do more, right? So yeah, so I've been letting people know, if you can't make it, yeah, it's concerning. There's the issue with Iran that's thrown up a lot of emotions, and people that just have to be they just want to be part of something, even though they don't study or research the situation. They just want to go out there and complain. I was like, no,
Yeah.
find a cause to be part of that's going to make a real difference, not just the same old
It's
talking
very
points.
sad
So
when people don't stop and listen and learn, and then they wouldn't be. Oh, Lonnie. So Lonnie just messaged in chat that he only had a minute, and I didn't know if he was trying to
no.
speak. He only
Oh,
had he only had one. Would he have only had like 1 minute left on his phone or something? It was like he needed to charge, and I don't know if
oh,
he put it in chat, but he just got kicked out. He says it's only on 1%. I meant to say only
oh,
one.
okay.
So hopefully maybe he can charge up. I don't know if he had a question or something, but
Yeah, sometimes they message me on Messenger if they wanted to ask something.
Okay,
Yeah,
did you
well,
talk to
yeah.
him at all, Wes, or?
I just went during your sister class in here. I just went down to a messenger and just sent the Zoom to everyone. And
Okay,
he was one of the ones I sent the Zoom to, just as a reminder. Some people just need that reminder that, oh yeah, Wednesday. It's
yeah,
like
I
me
know,
with 4 kids. I'm like, what day
I
is
do the
it?
same thing. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
huh?
So yeah, I just want to let everyone know, if you can't make it and you're concerned, yeah, there's nothing to be ashamed of there. Hopefully we can get to a time where we can really do hands-on, speak to people face to face, and really make a difference. But it's a special day, the day of prayer for 250 years. But
Yeah,
there's no, I don't see there be a real need to really get there. And if you're concerned, not to feel bad about it though. But
yeah, I'm just asking everybody just to pray about it and do
yeah.
what you feel led to do. I will feel horrible if anything, God forbid, happened, of course, but of course I'm going to be prayed up, and I agree with you, like I have no fear when it comes to anything family court, but when
Mhm.
I think about who I'm going to be bringing with me, then I'm saying, okay, Lord, I got to make sure I want you guys safe, and I want
Mhm.
the whole point is that I need you here for your kids, period.
Right. Well, for
Okay.
me, if I go, it's my decision. I
Yeah.
decided to go there, and I read you of any um responsibility on my behalf. So
Amen. Amen.
there we go. So it'd be my decision if I went. So
I'm
yeah.
going to go ahead and share the screen again. Hold on. I know that
Okay.
there's questions, hands up. Let me just share the screen again because I found it. So my brain fries a little bit. I have lots of information in there. It's City Tavern. That's where we're going to be. Just so you know, I'm going to read this. The City Tavern is in Washington, D.C., is a historical federal style building in Georgetown, originally built in 1796. And God has really blessed us because I literally had tears when I found out we got this venue. It's hard enough to get the Trump Kennedy Center. You can't even imagine. And we were able to get both, but we chose this one. God is just giving us so much favor that I am in awe every day of my life right now. I mean, this building that we just got literally fell on my lap. I am in awe of it. Okay. And it's just amazing because when he calls you to do something, you don't have to be a millionaire, but he puts you with them. Originally built in 1796. That now serves as a private social club and event venue, hosting weddings, corporate events, and galas. It is one of the city's oldest buildings, once frequented by founding fathers like Washington, Jefferson, and Adams, and offers a unique historic atmosphere with multiple rooms and a terrace for events, accommodating up to 900 guests. The key features: historic significance, a federal period building that hosted early American figures, offering a lively history experience. Event versatility, hosts a wide range of events, blah, blah, blah. I just read that. Okay, we read that. Now let me show some pictures. Now, before I kind of get into this, it does have a parking lot, so that's great. I'll know about you guys getting codes to get in. There are special VIP rooms. I guess we're going to have food vendors there. There's going to be multiple, including Andre Soriano, but there's going to be a couple of fashion icons there, designers. I do need everybody muted, please. This is just some of the photographs. So we're very, very excited about it. And it is absolutely beautiful. We're very excited about it. Diana, of course, is the CEO of United Doctors of America. My sister and I are, I believe that's Lori popping back in. My sister and I are on the board of United Doctors of America. And Andre is also a part of it as well, and multiple other wonderful people that are a part of that. The podcast that we're doing, I'm also very excited about that. We're trying to get that launched within like less than 2 weeks. We have some, obviously we have some things to work out there as well. I'm going to go ahead and just show you what I can from our humble beginnings and then to where we are now and what God has done, because it literally puts tears to my eyes, and they're happy tears. Happy and sad, I guess. But I'm just in awe of everything that he's done. I'm going to kind of give you a little history, and don't mind some of the other pictures that are in between. Going to give you a little bit of history of everything that we have been doing. So you guys got to do what the FJAA is. And that's just a snapshot. We're not fighting for new laws. We're just demanding the enforcement of laws we already have, and that will change everything. And our main goal here is to protect children above all, genuinely, not fake CPS, child predator services nonsense. Okay. So one of the first things we did, if you look at this, I'm not going to show the videos, obviously, but one of the first things we did, we were there during a government shutdown. We were supposed to be in a congressional hearing room. We lost the room because it was a government shutdown, even though Congress buildings are open. You can go in and out, but you can't have a congressional hearing room because they furlough, like the Secret Service and they furlough the security and things of that nature. So instead, we were at a library, and I'm not going to show videos, but this is, some of what was on the stage. I'm sorry, what was on the screen. We had multiple expert guest speakers, and we had over 250 families during a government shutdown. This has gotten the attention of Congress members on both sides. They realize how large, this is just people in there. They realize how large everything is, and like what we're doing, and how this is a national, and like people say, this is much bigger than a national issue. This was when I was arrested. This is really something. This was going back, claiming that my son was missing when we were not missing, but that's another story. Anyway, That's my dog. Sorry. I told you there's going to be other pictures here. So this is some of the stuff. And this is us in and out of Congress building, speaking with different Congress members, going in and out. This was Richard Blumenthal, Democrat. So these are like, there's been so many Congress members that even Charles Schumer, I have an email from Charles Schumer. This was a private meeting we had with him. And this one was back in, let's see the date? This says the time. But even he, shocking, this one blew my mind. I shouldn't be saying this on live. But even he said they're going to support us till the end because they cannot sponsor a bill. But these are just some others. I went to the Hawaii Congress members. I was trying to go for Dana and the team in Hawaii. They never were there. They weren't there during the government shutdown, but some were. That's just one of my books. Okay, don't mind some of this stuff. Family Justice and Accountability Act. This just says family court is known for custody orders that abuse children and parents that cannot protect them. And that's where we stand. That's why my business is punished for protecting the injustice system of family court. That is the reason why. And if you want, I can give you, I do these teachings every Wednesday night. It's free to come in, to be a part of it, to volunteer, to be a part of. This is truly historic. Okay. I know there's others out there trying to mimic what we're doing because they're opposing what we're doing, but we genuinely have literally what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word for it. Like trailblazed it. Okay. It says the people outnumber the corruption. We foreran it. We are the forerunners of what's happening here. We have the largest court watch team in America, and they're being trained to be independent committees so that judges no longer will say things like, we're not going to recuse ourselves, and we know darn well they're extremely biased. So the committees will now make these decisions. This is one of the things I'm working in DC to get my specific committees trained, which is what I'm doing, training them. They're doing hands-on. We see a lot of really positive things when they're in court, just kind of lining the courts. Okay. I have people right now that are literally using the FJAA, which is that's how I operate anyway. That's what I do. But they're using the FJAA. They're inserting it with their court cases now and winning their cases. So we're doing it anyway, guys. What I'm trying to say is we're already implementing it. We're doing it by force. Okay. So this is part of that event. That's Marilee McLean. Marilee actually turned over her mom's Fight Back page to me, which was really a blessing. These are just some of this is Schumer. Actually, this is Schumer's email to me that they were supporting us all the way through. Let's see. Stand with Meg. She just said, why do we need this bill if we already have constitutional rights? She's in support of it. She's not saying that sarcastically. Don't ask what that is. I have no idea. So you're getting to travel through my life in my pictures right now. This is just showing that, I did this Family Justice and Accountability Act, and it says counterfeit because somebody else came along and did Families United for Protection and Accountability. I don't know why we have to fight people like this, but now here we've got, this is every state in the country. Okay. So we've got Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware. Sorry, that just is the federal chapter. Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina. Oh, and speaking of New York, everybody in New York, I need somebody to mute. Whoever just came in. Please mute. Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming. Okay. And again, see what one of our mottos is? Putting the power back with the people. It starts with you. We are the authority. Not sure why I have extras. That was, excuse me. This was just a video that Tasha did that I liked, so I played it. Here's some videos. You know, we have a lot of things. You can ask for these videos if you want to share them on your state pages. We have a lot of great stuff. And you just ask for it and we'll give it to you. My niece Michaela, my sister. Okay, see, I told you there's going to be stuff here. My 81-year-old mother. We're all silly. Okay, this here, we spent about 3 hours, a small team and I, and this was in one of the congressional meetings that we had. This literally was during the last day of the government shutdown. And this was Representative Bacon's office. We spent almost 3 hours with them. It was pretty amazing. We've gotten so much favor. That's a Republican. Again, this was.
I really like that guy, Francesca. It was Mark Dreeling. He was
That's
captain.
Mark. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, he was wonderful the time he spent with us. And then we still that's my daughter and my grandchildren. I'm sorry. I told you guys you're gonna get little insight on my life, okay? That was actually Christmas. There's Larry Baker. I don't know if he's on tonight. Larry goes everywhere. He's great. Larry travels everywhere. We went to go see Patty Murray. Again, that was the government shutdown. Now, just so you know, the government shutdown, we were there and Robert was there that night actually too, that day. We've seen a couple of different ones. That one, we were there as it opened. So we were literally we got to be there as the government reopened the same day. That was pretty cool. Okay, sorry, family. I've done Heart of New York TV multiple times. Okay, let's see. Give me a moment. Sorry, these are just not really family. Holly. Oh. Okay, this is the opposed shared parenting custody presumption bill. This was an urgent alert for Virginia. This puts children at risk, undermines judicial discretion, and endangers domestic violence survivors. This was Tara and her son, Tasha. That's myself and my daughter's mother-in-law, part of New York TV. This is just some of the crowd from Washington, D.C. Some of the crowd from Washington, D.C. That's also some of the crowd from Washington, D.C. All during a government shutdown. I don't remember if this was during that time or another. No, this was another time we had gone down. We were going in and out of offices. That's
This
Dr.
is October.
Yeah, that's Dr. Hollick. He was one of our guest speakers. Tasha again. Tasha, you're famous. There's Pam. This was us at the Waldorf. We took over the place. We literally filled the whole living room. More people. Lots of speeches. There's Megan. Some really wonderful people. This was my very first invitation to Maha, Robert F. Kennedy. It was pretty awesome. Myself and my sister, we were invited. Okay, so there's I forget which meeting this was for. It doesn't say it, but I took a screenshot. It was definitely a Florida rep. I think this had to do with it's Alma, so it probably has to do with it's Representative Luna. Okay, it was Representative Luna's office. Okay, then my sister and I another event. Who knows what one this one was? There's been so many. I'll just kind of flip through these. Okay, that's Robert F. Kennedy Jr. coming in. This is Ned's Club. Pretty crowded house. It was his birthday, so there was like a birthday celebration. You got Dr. Oz here. You got all of those guys. Oh, you got Rob Schneider. See him down there? That's Jared. He's actually one of the donors for RFK Jr. This looks like, I can't tell if this is, I think this is the Builders Museum event. United Doctors of America, I'm on the board of this now. This is Diana Starr. Some of us down at the Waldorf. Don't ask, I have no idea. Enforcing courts to follow the Constitution, the human rights, and the ADA. This is the Kids for Congress division. Now, this you want because you can get your children to speak to Congress members. If you can't physically go to DC with us when we do these events, or at any time that we decide to go, I'm there 2 to 3 times a month now. You guys can let me know and we can get you on with your Congress members through Zoom and let the kids speak. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Okay? Because no child should live with an abuser or a stranger. That's been my motto for Punish for Protecting since I started Punish for Protecting. Okay? Now, this was actually years ago. This was also at the Waldorf, but it was Trump Towers at the time. So this is me and Kellyanne Conway. And then my son's really little there, you can see. And then just some of the people that were for Punish for Protecting that came down. This lady's really nice right here on the left. I haven't talked to her in years, but she's Tamara. She's on social media a lot. She's really great. This was a Golden Age event. That's Senator Mark Fincham. He's very, very good. He's very on the ball with everything, understands it all. He's a senator for Arizona. I've invited him to DC and he's come down to events down there. Make America's children safe again. This is like, they're under the table. These people are just being disgusting. They push the table, clean up their act, and knock them over. This is what we're doing. This is what you're a part of. Huh. There's more videos. Okay, we're down in DC again. Heading somewhere, who knows? Oh, this one my son came to. Oh, this is the binder this is the day that I handed this binder to RFK Jr. This was pretty amazing. So this binder has everything in it, including the entire FJAA, the executive order to Trump. Everything was all in there. And we're off. We're heading there. That was one of my books, The System That Fooled the Nation. It's the Waldorf. That's my son. Yeah, we were doing it. This was like a whole big meeting. This was a legislative summit. It's a Golden Age event. This is like another, lots of Congress members and so on and so forth. My sister and her husband. As you can see, just a lot of suits. A lot of suits. Diana Starr, my son, my sister and her husband, Diana and my sister, me and Diana. That's Randy. That's Melissa. And so people, they make their own, videos and their own stuff. And I encourage everybody to do that because the more we spread awareness, there's Andre Soriano. This was made for President Trump. So John Harrington made this for him and it was presented with my executive order in Mar-a-Lago in February. I know we're looking at April going into May now. This is John. That's Wesley. I like cars. That's me speaking at the Batters Women Domestic Violence event that's in Albany every year. This is a couple years ago. You guys can get these. I'm going to be handing some of this stuff out. I have keychains made with this, so I have a bunch for when we go back to DC. I'll give you guys. They're just free gifts. Holly, the other Holly. Victoria Schumacher. My sister, Miriam. This is Miriam. She's actually a princess, a real princess. Some of the ladies. Looks like I got Michelle there, Pam, Victoria, me, Megan, I see. Looks like Erica. That was at the Builders Museum. There was Emmy, Kate, Gail, myself, that's your sir. He does a lot of production work and stuff, design. Here's some of the kids. Here's some of the kids for Congress. These are Wes's kids and Michelle's son, I believe, and maybe, what else do we got there? Somebody else's kids? I don't remember what building we were in, but Lincoln Memorial. Back to I remember this night, Kate. I remember this, Emmy and Kate. We were there for multiple hours. Sorry that there's duplicates. This is called the Golden Age. You guys can look this up. This was the Union League Club. I was invited literally from DC straight to here. Anastasia Yop. And this is Betsy McCauley. She's running for governor of Connecticut. Go ahead, Wes. Who is that again? Who is that?
Dick Morris.
Dick Morris. He used to be Clinton's advisor, and then he became Trump's advisor. This was a very small event. I'm gonna flip through quick because I'm not supposed to show this. That. We'll just skip it. But of course, I pounded into their heads regarding family justice. This is another private get together with RFK. You all know who that is, right? Rand Paul. Stephanie, she's RFK Jr.'s, she handles everything, basically. There he is again. Make America's children safe again. Mandatory 50-50 custody laws are dangerous. 50, 60, 70%, 80%, 90%, 100%. Children unalived, placed in danger. Protect kids, not abusers. On New York TV. Our mission is simple: return the power of oversight, accountability, and constitutional backing, constitutional enforcement back into the hands of the people. So we're definitely getting the attention on it that we need. On a New York TV show again, it's New York City. Oh, there's Wes. Go ahead, Wes, hit him good. Get that devil. Say we get some, this is the person, if you need a video and you want to really, you want to really make a statement. I think that makes a statement. I think that makes a very powerful statement. That's supposed to be me. This is the Trump Kennedy Center. This was a whole lecture and book signing. It's called Vaccines Amen with Aaron Siri. It was a special invite. It was very awesome, very, very awesome. A lot to learn. And I know a lot about the dangers of vaccines, but this was just, if anybody watched him speak on this, you'd never give your kids a vaccine again, ever. The lies that this government tells is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Holly. Tony speaking at the Trump Kennedy Center, eating all organic. I got to speak there too, the White House. Okay, this was the Washington College Republican Gala. That's what this was. And so this is really cool because this was also held at the Trump Kennedy Center. Actually, that's my friend Shane, and he used to do something called Predator Hunters years ago, and now he does Child Safety Soldiers, where he literally hunts down pedophiles. So this gala had tons of Congress members loaded in the room. Wes, who is this again? Wes, why do I keep forgetting his name? Oh my goodness.
Wesley Hunt.
Yeah, Wesley Hunt. Very nice man. Very nice man. I gave him all the information on the FJAA.
Yeah, Texas Senator.
Yeah, and then this is our local Guy Lawler, which I still have to make an appointment with him. I just haven't had time. I introduced everything to him and so on, and to the other gentleman. This was also hard in New York because I think I did it when coming back. Another representative. Oh my God, Shane was crazy. Okay, this is my favorite though. Okay, Representative Raleigh. He is absolutely amazing, from Ohio. Knew all about FJAA. I'm already in meetings with him, and we're going back in again. Holly was with me because she's Ohio. He knew all about it. It was wonderful. Him and then the representative from Indiana that I didn't personally talk to, but the team did. Ohio has so many problems, and he's amazing. So we definitely want to continue to work with him. And then this was like just some photos. Yeah, that's one of the people we're working with. This is the roof of the Trump Kennedy Center after the gala. I mean, this is back as you're leaving the building. It's got a lot of history, lots and lots, obviously, of Kennedy. Really cool stuff in there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else of importance here. Lots of pictures, gosh. Oh, that's Mike Lawler again. And the young Republican, like the kids, they're really amazing. Really nice, very professional, very, just really good kids coming out of that college. These are like a lot of repeats. Okay, that's, a lot of people mistaken this for the White House. It is not. It's the Eisenhower building. There are advocates online that are literally claiming that they're at the White House when they're there, and they're claiming that they're inside the White House. It's pretty crazy. People got to get informed. Like, it's really sad what goes on. Okay, I think we have everything. Okay, Netflix, very important. We did have the Netflix producer on. That is literally that is literally on my page. I will make sure if you guys want to be on part of the 3-part Netflix series that you you can upload anything you want. Originally, I thought it was just going to be like a 3-minute video. She doesn't care how long your video is. You tell your story. You can upload any of your documents, anything you want for the Netflix 3-part series. And I will have the producer back on here again. So just
That's going to make a lot of people happy.
yeah, she said you can do anything you want. Like, and you're gonna look for this on social media. Look for this. Okay, where it says share your story will amplify your voice. This is all the 3-part Netflix series. Okay, so I do think that's everything. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to go through any more of this. Okay, let me get rid of that. Um, just to kind of show you. Okay, just to kind of give you guys a kind of through the journey of where we are and how far we've come and how amazing it's all been. And then, like I said, June is going to be one crazy and amazing month because we have the fashion show. It's not just a fashion show, okay? We have backers and all kinds of really just great stuff that's happening, and we need it desperately because this is a lot of trips for me back and forth. It's a lot on me, a lot financially. It's just a lot. You talk about having to trust God for everything. It's a lot. So. There's that. It's going to raise a lot of awareness. My sister and I will be on the stage. We'll be able to talk. We'll be able to, we're gonna talk about everything, and it's going to get tons and tons of exposure that it needs. So they even said, just get ready because you're going to go into like 5th gear, like moving, like this, what's going to happen. And then directly after that, the 30th and 31st, I'm at a private gala with Trump and with JD Vance. All right. So like the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st is going to be so powerful for all of what we're doing. So that's why we have the code of conduct. We take that very, very serious. If you're a part of FJAA, it's how you represent yourself and how you represent the team, properly. And it's both, we expect a certain code of conduct, both privately and publicly. Okay. We used to have a 1 drink rule at events. We have a 0 alcohol rule now. We just have to be very, very smart and wise. And I don't care if there's a Congress member there that's drunk. We are not acting that way. Okay. We are sober. Okay. The code of conduct is very awesome. So it's in chat. If you guys want to be a part of it, please read through it and sign it and send it back. Very, very, very important. To be a part of what we're doing. Okay. And I said it earlier tonight, and I'm going to say it again. I really look forward to people that believe that your yes is your yes and your no is your no. I'd rather you say no, but when you say yes, I believe, like myself, we should be able to do what we say we're going to do. Okay. Especially if anybody here claims to be a follower of Christ and, we're believers. We need to be people of our word, and we need to represent him above all. And so if we say we're going to do something, you don't just stop and do, I'm mad at Francesca, I'm going to go post something about her on Facebook. We're not looking for that. Okay, guys, we have the devil for that. We don't need each other to act that way. Okay. And I'm very approachable. Come to me directly if there's an issue with somebody. I will talk to you about it. Okay. We have an amazing board. We vote for certain things and what have you. Okay. So that's very important. All right. Let me see. Did Lonnie get back in? Oh, Lonnie, you got back in? Were you try? I saw that you said your battery was on 1%, Lonnie. Did you want to ask a question or something? We tried to ask you and then we saw you hopped out. I just didn't want to leave you hanging. He's on mute.
I'm here. I'm sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I saw it said 1% and then you were gone, and I didn't know if you had a question or something you wanted to ask. But
No, ma'am. I'm just listening.
Okay, I just wanted to double check with you. Okay, great.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're gonna do some Q&A. Remember, do not talk about your cases because then I have to stop you, and I hate to have to do that. Number one, you're on live YouTube. Number two, it's I really handle your cases ethically and privately, unless we're doing a live, obviously Netflix or something like that, or you're being interviewed. That's different, and it also traumatizes people, and we don't want that. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start with Emmy. I see your hand up.
I actually forgot my hand was up, but what I had to say was about the May 17th. I agree with my mom. I think that using your own intuition on this one, because yeah, there's a lot going on. And I know there are a lot of folks that are going to that. And we're going to be bringing a lot of awareness. My mom is going, my mom and I are going, and we're doing signs. We even have some extra t-shirts if anybody needed a few, because it's so last minute. But one thing I was thinking maybe that we could do for the folks that are going is either a Zoom or maybe meeting before and kind of going over some safety stuff. And I actually have a couple of people that are within an hour or so there that said they could possibly be available for security too, retired veterans. So that would be pretty neat too. So I'm going to reach out to them as well.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, I was wondering about bringing our own security. I know we do get a lot of people that offer. So that would be really good, I think, to do that. And I kind of see, yeah, I hear you on that. Okay. Oh, I totally left out the whole last event. I didn't even show you guys the last event. But we'll go back to that. That's okay. All right. Did you have anything else, Emmy, before I move on to Patricia?
I have a couple things I'm going to message you. But
Okay.
no. Yep, that's it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Emmy.
Yeah.
Okay, Patricia, you're next.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm from Iowa.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
The roads. I have made a page that kind of brought 11 families together. And so next week I'm going to bring these 11 families to this meeting. And my questions pretty much were, I've been watching this for about a year. I've been involved with you since about October.
Oh, okay, great.
I don't know. I can read pretty well. I can read people pretty well, and I can see through people. The advocacy is out of control, in my opinion. And so I'm glad that you mentioned like Meg. I was wondering like maybe your opinion on like Jessica Saxton, Tanawa Downing, and should I be uniting these people? Like, okay, and then mine is these families are from Southeast Iowa. So should I be uniting or joining forces with